Hey guys, I'm Laura and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be sharing with you why I am quitting Project Life. I know. It's really big news and I'm surprised too, but it has been a long time coming for the last year, and I'm going to share why I'm quitting Project Life, why you might want to quit Project Life, why you might want to do Project Life, start Project Life, all the things Project Life related. 2018 was my 5th year doing Project Life, 5 years. And up until 2018, I had never understood why anybody would want to stop doing Project Life. I loved the project so hard, diehard fan. I never wanted to quit it. I could not imagine a time when I wouldn't want to do it. However, 2018 changed the game. A lot of things happened, and I'm going to share with you those things and how they affected my relationship with Project Life. And hopefully you can consider your life and how Project Life may or may not work as a memory keeping system for you right now, or in the future, or in the past, or whenever. So we all know I love my memory keeping, and Project Life has been a huge part of that for several years. I have done the 12 by 12 size, I have done 6 by 12 size, I have done 6 by 8 size, and I have done 9 by 12 size. So I've done pretty much all of the sizes that there are. I love Project Life. I love all the sizes. I find it all fun. I find it all beautiful, and I find it all really awesome for documenting your memories. But 2018 changed my life, and a lot of bad stuff happened, and it was really rough. So I'll show you a peek at one of my Project Life albums here. I think this is 2017. Yeah, 2017. So you can see lots of memory keeping, lots of fun stuff in there. I love it. I love the fun of it. I love the scrapbooking part of it, the creativity part of it. Project Life is so fun for me. And then my cat got really sick and was on hospice care, and we had to take care of him. And 8 months later, after taking care of him and spending a ton of money on that and being depressed that my cat was dying, my cat died. I didn't get into grad school. I lost my first job. I had a ton of things that I went through that made the year very difficult. And I had a ton of things that I did that were really awesome too and really cool. Like I got my bachelor's degree and all kinds of other stuff that I did for the first time and was really excited for. But 2018 was an overwhelmingly hard year for me. It was very difficult. And I found that about 2 months into the year, things were getting so hard that I didn't want to document them. My cat had already been sick for about 4 months at this time, 5-6 months maybe. He'd been sick for a while, and his decline was getting progressively worse and very quickly. He was rapidly declining, and those last few months of his life, I didn't want to do any memory keeping at all. I took lots of pictures of him for traditional scrapbook layouts, for a couple of travelers' notebook layouts, but I did not want to touch my Project Life album, and I'll tell you why. The downside to Project Life is that it is chronological and is meant for documenting your everyday life. And part of that includes the really tough, hard stuff. So if you failed a class, if you lost a job, if you lost a family member, if your pet dies, if your pet gets sick, if something really bad in your life happens and you're documenting things chronologically and you're like me and you want to pay respect to the bad things that happen, then if you have a year like 2018 was for me, your Project Life album would end up looking like a ton of crap, like a ton of crappy things, one after the other. And that's just being really real with it. Like, it was a hard year for me. A lot of tough stuff happened. I didn't want to keep reliving it after it happened by doing Project Life. And it sucks. It sucks a lot. I've always loved Project Life. And until this last year, when I had a particularly difficult year and went through a lot of hard stuff where I didn't want to look at the photos afterwards, I didn't want to touch them, I didn't want to document them, and Project Life didn't really allow for a way not to do that. So with traditional scrapbooking, you pick whatever photo you want to scrapbook and you scrapbook it. You don't have to go in chronological order. You don't have to do your everyday life. You could only do special occasions or really great memories. And scrapbooking allowed a lot more freedom to pick and choose which memories I was pulling from 2018 and choosing to document, Whereas my Project Life album from March onward just sat there empty, and I didn't touch it because I didn't want to revisit those photos or those memories so soon after my cat had died. And it was a very difficult year, and I stopped doing Project Life because of it. Now, how does this change my game for the future? Well, I will tell you, 2019 is looking like a whole different game. I'm going into 2019 really happy, really hopeful for what the new year has. There's lots of good things going on. Lots of good things are going to happen this year. I'm sure of it. But I'm still not going to go back to Project Life yet, and I'm going to share why. I took that break from Project Life in 2018, essentially because I needed to for my emotional and mental health. And then I was considering my 2019 memory keeping plan. And I was thinking about years past and what's worked and what hasn't. And I wanted to be super honest with you guys about this system. And I just have one of my small albums here so I can show you real easy what it looks like, because it's hard to hold the big albums up. They weigh a lot. But here's the deal. Project Life is really hard for me to stay up to date on. I take hundreds of photos every month. I am an obsessive memory documenter. I take a lot of photos. I think every moment is important. And what ends up happening is every single year, I fall behind on my album. Every single year, without a doubt, it always happens. I always fall behind. My 2018, I stopped doing it in March. If I look back my 2016 album, I still have the last 3 months to do Project Life in that album. If I go back to 2016, if I go back another year, I have like another 2 months to finish up in that album. Because I take so many photos, and because I'm so particular about how my pages look and how everything's arranged and decorated and everything, because that's the kind of memory keeper I am, Project Life is a lot of work. It's a lot of time commitment. It's a lot of supplies. It's a lot of stuff. And I always fall behind every year. And I have completely finished up my 2013, 2014, and 2015 albums. But I still have to finish up my 2016, 2017, and 2018 albums. And being really real about that, and just considering the situation and how I always fall behind and how I really don't want to add another thing to my plate where I'm behind and feeling less than and inferior and feeling like I need to catch up on it. And like, no joke, that's the pressure I put on myself. That's not from the memory keeping community at all. But in the back of my mind, I know that I have those unfinished years I need to go finish, and it bothers me. And I didn't want to take on another year of that in 2019. So in 2019, I am totally changing my memory keeping game, and I'm not doing Project Life. And that's the story of how I'm quitting Project Life. I may come back to it. I adore Project Life. This is one album. I have so many albums, just tons and tons of albums, different sizes, different styles, different memories in them. And I love this system. I truly, truly do. It was my main gal for 5 years of memory keeping, and I loved it, and I never thought I would ever quit. And now I am. And that's what it looks like. Like, sometimes life changes and you have to reconsider if something is really working for you. And when I thought about 2019, I didn't want to take the stress of a big project that was going to end up half finished, as always. I didn't want to take it into the new year. And I also wanted to finish up all my old albums before I even considered starting a new one. But I knew at the beginning of the year I would want to start a new one. So I'm just not going to do one this year. I'm not going to do it, and then I won't fall behind on it, and then I'll have lots of time to catch up on my past albums because I'm not worried about doing it this year. And I'm going to do something else this year, something else that I hope is going to be easier, more cohesive for my lifestyle, and something that I stay caught up on and has a lot less pressure for me. And I'm going to have a whole video on my channel about my 2019 memory keeping plan. So make sure you go follow me on my channel, check out that video so you know what's going on. This video is just explaining the nitty-gritty of why I'm quitting Project Life, being really real about the downsides to it and the pressure to keep up. And if you're an obsessive memory documenter like me, where you have a lot of stories and a lot of photos, how big of a project it is and how there's a lot of supplies and you end up with tons of albums a year. If you're like me, I have like 2 albums a year or more if it's the small size ones. Like, it's crazy. And then also another thing with Project Life is I look back in several years, like I was looking back last year at my 2014 album, and half the pictures just weren't important to me anymore. I was like, dang, like I did all this memory keeping of my everyday life, and now looking back, it's not important to me. Like, I don't need 500 pictures of all the meals I made throughout that year. I don't need 300 selfies documenting what I looked like throughout the year. I don't need a lot of the pictures that I had, or like I used to have a job where I took photos, and now I don't have that job, and I didn't like that job that much after I left it. And those memories aren't that important to me anymore. The ones that I thought were important back then, they weren't like the important stuff looking forward. So I go back and I look at my old albums and I think like, gosh, I put so much work into that, and half the stuff that's in there isn't even important to me anymore. And it's just taking up space and taking up extra albums on my shelf. So with all of that said, I don't want to get into another year of that right now. It's not something that I think would be good for my schedule or good for my creativity. So I'm quitting Project Life. And again, I love this system. I have loved it for years hard. I never, ever thought I would be the person that quit Project Life or that said that they weren't doing Project Life one year. It is blowing my mind that that's where I've landed this year. But in 2019, that's where it is. And that's what it is. And I hope this video helps you. If you've been considering starting Project Life, doing Project Life, maybe you've done it and you're not sure if you want to keep doing it. I hope this video helps you in some way to weigh your pros and cons and maybe figure out what is best for you. I am pretty certain, like 90% certain, that I will be back to Project Life one day. I truly, truly love this system. I will very likely go back to it next year, or maybe I get halfway through this year and I decide I want to go back to it. Who knows? Only the future knows. But I need to quit it for now, and I quit it at the beginning of last year or shortly into last year, and that's okay. It is one of my all-time favorite ways of memory keeping. I'm sure I will do it again one day, and I have loved doing it in the past, but it's not right for me right now, and that's okay. So here is for having a little grace for quitting projects that aren't working for you. And here is for being really real and helping other people by talking honestly about it so that maybe they can make decisions that are better informed for themselves about their memory keeping projects in the future. So if you found this video helpful at all, please give it a thumbs up. Leave me a comment down below if you have any questions or if you want to know anything. I'm bobbing all over the camera here. But yeah, this is just my confession on quitting Project Life. And hopefully I'll be back to it one day, but not this year, I don't think. And it's all good. It is what it is. And I am excited about other memory keeping projects that I'm going to be taking on for the first time and other things that I'm going to keep pursuing throughout 2019. Check out that video if you want to see more on it. Thank you guys so much for watching this rambly video on my Project Life experience. Again, it's been a beautiful one. It's been a hard one. It's a big project. It takes a lot of time. I'm always behind on it. It's hard to document chronologically if you're going through a very difficult season in life. But other than that, again, one of my all-time favorite things, I'm sure I will come back to it because I absolutely adore it and I love having the albums to look back at. So there's the pros and the cons. I'm Laura. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Make sure to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any of the fun memory keeping stuff that I will be sharing. And don't worry, if you want to see Project Life videos, there's a good chance I'll have some in 2019 because I have 3 years of past albums to catch up on. So thank you guys again for watching. I will catch you in the next video. Bye.